Is 8:44. Welcome back. He's a New York Times best-selling author who has spent decades studying how people in sports teams thrive. He also happens to be a consultant for the Cleveland Guardians. David Greenberg is in Studio B right now with the man of the hour, David, Dan Coyle.
Yeah, Danita, this is going to be a super fascinating conversation. Now, author Dan Coyle has recently tackled the topic of flourishing, digging into the stories of people who find purpose in their lives, created spaces for growth, and how we can all find the bigger picture. So he joins me now, and this is going to be a very fascinating conversation. You see your book here, Flourish. First off, congratulations. This is book number 9, you were saying. How long do you typically take to really sink your teeth into these books?
It takes about 5 years. I am not fast. It is very slow to go do this stuff because you're going out to kind of solve a mystery.
Yeah.
Like, we know that modern life kind of feels like this treadmill that keeps speeding up. Mm-hmm. So who are people who figured out how to slow it down or how to get off it and still perform, still have a good life?
Yeah.
And so 5 years of kind of traveling around looking from a neighborhood in Paris to a deli in Michigan to some sports teams, places that have figured out how to create joyful, meaningful growth that's shared. That's what flourishing is, joyful, meaningful growth shared.
Yeah, and now what are some of the lessons people can take away from reading this book?
There's 2 big ones. One is the power of the connective pause. Like when you stop, life keeps you going fast, but these places are really good at stopping, at pausing and saying, oh, wait a minute, what's actually happening here? Let's have a ritualized pause where we can figure things out and really connect. And the second thing they're really good at is messy experiments. You sort of expect places that are really proficient to be very clean and neat, and it's the opposite. Like they're constantly saying, hey, David, what do you want to do? What do you got? You know, help us, let's figure this out together.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're tapping into kind of the transformative power of community. Like communities when people turn toward each other and say, how do we make this better? And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, like you were talking about that, the first part, in the world we live nowadays, it's just everything go, go, go. It's important to kind of slow down a little bit and let some of it soak in. So you have a very interesting background. Can you give us a brief overview of how you got into writing, and especially in topics like culture?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I grew up in Alaska, which is, you know, kind of like growing up on Mars in some ways. It makes you look at things from a different angle, which was good. Almost became a doctor, took a left turn into journalism, but I was always interested in science. So my gig was to go find great performers and see what makes them tick. Like, what's going on? Why do all the best tennis players come out of this one club in Moscow? And why do all the best chess players come out of this one place? And so that's what I write about. I write about sort of the machinery beneath the magic, and hopefully give people some frameworks to figure out. Because what looks like magic, whenever we see somebody doing something amazing, we kind of have this tendency to say, oh, it's just them. It's just what they've got, right? It's in them. And the truth is that it's about the environments we create. It's about the conditions we create, and that everybody has got a lot more potential than we think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I'm a sports fan. We got plenty of sports fans out there, people who played sports their entire life. You hear the word culture, kind of a trigger word, right? It's one of those where you just kind of throw it around. Oh, this team's got a good culture, that team's got a good culture.
True.
What does the word culture mean to you? And you're a special advisor to the Guardians as well. So what does that look like at the professional level for them?
No, that's good. That's a great question. The Guardians are kind of sneakily a pretty good story. I mean, over the last 13 years, they've won as many games as the Yankees, and they've spent $1.3 billion less. And so they're adding up to more. They're like, you know what about Moneyball? What the Guardians are about is learning ball. Like, how do you create a culture where everybody is developing the most?
Yeah.
And because we can't afford players, so we have to develop them.
Right.
And so it's about a culture of trying to get a little bit better every day. And the way the Guardians do that is, culture isn't like just this soft, mushy thing. It's this set of habits. And the habits are about creating safety, creating connection where everybody feels like they can speak up, where the saying there is, we all together, we can make one big brain. So, you know, as somebody who for the last 13 years has been like a tiny part of that, it's really fun. It's not what you would expect. You'd expect like go in the Guardian's office and people, they know what to do and they're very certain. They're not. They're constantly circling up and asking questions, like hard questions.
Right.
And what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And so that's learning, right? Nobody has the answer, but together maybe we can navigate toward it. And that's what culture is. It's not like this poster on the wall or some good feeling about trust. It's more like what's your behavior? Like, how do you solve problems together?
Yeah.
And so that's what it looks like.
Fascinating. Dan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. For anybody who's interested in getting your book, where can they go to get?
Well, they can go tonight to the Coventry Library at 6 o'clock. We're going to have a little presentation there. And then go to danielcoyle.com or any place that sells books.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Danita, what a fascinating conversation, fascinating guy. You know, on his website, too, you could take a culture test to see how your workplace or your team is. I took it for us. We got a strong culture on the morning show, so I'm happy to report.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that, and I agree with that 100%. We do have an awesome, strong, and positive culture here on the morning show. Thank you so much, Greenberg.